what you just may not
Try
know
to
in place.
do share. One
Or
second.
a replica
We
of
can
the
do like this.
presentation that I hope to share with God's children.
Wait, let me put
And
it on
so
this.
we don't have a lot of time. 2 verse 9. Scripture says, "But you are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation."
So I think it should go like this.
That you shall show forth the fruits of him who was and called you out of darkness into his marvelous light.
Yeah.
So,
Again.
I don't want to upload too much scriptures on you. Leave that for our pastors to do. But my job here is just to provide the context of this dialogue this morning. That we are a chosen what? Generation. All right, chosen generation. So there's a bit of a change in where I was going to present, of course, because of the events that happened. But I chose to theme our conversation this morning the African immigrant health and hear about health. Right? We often like to think in terms of physical health, but health is a very broad term, right? I don't care how physically fit you are, how much you pray, but if you take Dr. Imasiku, you're not healthy. Am I right? Yeah. If you're telling me broke and you can't pay your bills, and you're super healthy and you have all these big muscles, are you healthy? No. No. You are sick. So let's talk about that. Now, let's talk about the physical health. According to the International Journal of Medicine and Health Science, people like statements like those. But I won't bore you with things like that. But here is something, okay? Follow me because I'm trying to go quickly just in case we have others to comment. African people, African immigrants in general. Okay, now if you were born here, you're not an immigrant. Anybody was born here from our African people? My sister, look like you were born here. No. No? Okay. That's a very clear no. Thank you. So African immigrants are healthier than their African American counterparts because of what some people call the health immigrant effect called HIE. Now, we are generally healthy. So now this is an unfolding branch of information where we're being studied. What are we up to? What are we doing? How successful are we? What are our challenges? Who do we look like? It's a phenomenon that scholars are actually diving deep, including the federal government. Is looking at things like that. Dr. Amagulu, it's good to see you. I just like to see a little bit of a smile. A smile on Zoom. That's what I was looking for from my sister.
Thank you.
So African immigrants acclimatized in the U.S. system upon adoption of we say that African immigrants are healthier than their, for example, African American counterparts because of we come in general from a healthier lifestyle background. Because we eat kalembula, we eat chihuahua, and we move a lot. Yes. I know, doctor, you may have 10 cars in Zambia, but still you move. Oh, yes. Because you have to, right? Yes. You have to. Now, but upon arrival, we begin to acclimate to the unhealthy lifestyles and some behaviors. Many African immigrants do not experience diabetes prior to arrival. We actually have no knowledge of these things, for example, because we used to eat well. But the risk increases exponentially, and many of our people have these issues. Now, I want to pay attention. There's a theme that you will notice there. African immigrants, because of lack of knowledge or sometimes negligence in part, we begin to fall prey to some of these things. And so there's some sort of paradox in existence here. Studies show that African immigrants, men, for example, my brother, Elder Kalambata, you have a higher chance of hypertension, diabetes, and prediabetes than African Americans. So why? That's the question. This is true. Although we have the lower prevalence of smoking, we don't smoke as much as our counterparts do. So again, the context of this information is kind of a comparing like with like, right? Because makeups can be very different. You know why most of us are lactose intolerant, right? Because cows have been in Africa less than 500 years ago. They are in Europe. We don't know cows. This is why African Americans generally tend to be lactose intolerant. This is why beer, alcohol, they are just terribly bad. You know, drinking the same amount of alcohol, in general speaking, broadly speaking, drinking the same amount of alcohol between a Caucasian and an African man, it will damage me and leave the other person in. Why? Because these things are foreign. So we smoke less. In fact, our obesity are less, but still we have more health issues that go along with those healthcare conditions. Studies further show that an unhealthy diet for all of us as immigrants may hurt us more than it hurts the natives. So, if you eat bad food or junk food, you an American, an African American or a Caucasian person, you eat the same diet, it will harm you, the immigrant, more than it will harm them. Why is that? Because we came from a cleaner, purer, better lifestyle. When you downgrade, you have problems. Just like when you backslide, 7 evil spirits. Pastor, hello. Yeah? Come back and occupy that space. So, it's interesting to see these things. So, that means that if it's bad eating too much sugar for Brother X, who is white, or for Sister Y, who is African American, then it is times X worse for me as an immigrant. Why am I talking like this? Because we are in a unique context. Almost in every sphere. Who is the timekeeper here? Because I lost my notes, I lost my computer, I scratched these notes, I may go over. Who is my timekeeper? You? You don't look like you'll be able to hold me down, but let's see. So, which means if you don't exercise and your counterparts don't exercise, you are in trouble. Okay? Okay, let's talk about mental health. Stress, depression, mood disorders, anxiety, abuse, and other things. These are rampant in our population, but that's different. We are more reluctant to address them because of our background, right? A typical Zambian man, I mean, telling Mr. Kalambala that he's depressed, he will slap you. So you are here, and so I have to speak on you. I usually speak on people on my right for some reason. So, half of you people right. Mental health issues in our people is also a unique and complex phenomenon. There is also what we call ostracism, the exclusion, the feeling, or actually the literal exclusion from society or a group. Whether it's perceived or real, it kicks into our psyche. Most of us here have done so well in this country, but a lot of us still feel so rejected. It's unspoken. Some of us have been here for 100 years. Our immigration status is still questionable. Why? Because the system is that way. It's cruel. Nobody talks about it, but within that situation, there can be a sense of rejection. Nobody has ever told you in this country, but you can still feel unwelcome. How does that play to your mental health? There's a lot we can unpack from that. How about West, the brainwaves? Some of you came highly educated from your own homeland. Proud. You bore the burden of education. You walked tall among scholars. You come here, your education is rendered useless. You gotta start from scratch. A feeling of loss and wasted time. Immigrants like you and me are in a unique situation, and we must start to talk about some of these things. Some were breadwinners. We left the homeland, promising even a better and brighter day. But then we came and found that the Benjamins are hard to come by. We don't send as much help. And so we don't even, yeah, I can see the smiles. I don't even emphasize. So there are pressures at home. There are pressures at home. So all these things cite into the mental health. Now it goes deeper than that. Some of us have been here for many years. We've lost parents. We've not been able to go back to parenting. And I don't know. You can just fight all you want. It hits your mental health. It hurts more than anything. Friends. All these things. So what I'm trying to do here is to picture that we, as an African immigrant group of people, are not like any other group of people. Do we agree? Do we agree? Yes. Do you agree with me?
Yes. I do.
We are in a unique situation. There are positives, but there are some profound negative things that have happened that are silently brewing within our midst. So the question this morning, going back to scripture, we are a chosen generation, a peculiar people. Does that feel like we are a peculiar chosen people, a holy priesthood? You know, those words feel very good, right? But when you begin to dig in, we can actually be broken people. We can be a disrupted nation. We can be a lost and troubled people. So what should we do about it? So I worked for 9 years for a Jewish family. When I say Jewish family, you know what I mean. There were Sabbath keepers, and some of their refrigerators kept the Sabbath. They were programmed to turn off at sunset. Okay? That's the level of seriousness. Those Jews that some of them will smoke, but on the Sabbath they will let you light their cigarette because they can't do a fire. That's how well they keep the Sabbath. They're there. And for 9 years I observed and learned a lot. And some of what I'll share now as we get into what does this mean? What should we do as a people? So there are about 7 areas, just these are themed principled areas we can consider to make a. So one of the things that we must do as an immigrant population, facing, and in fact, let's scratch the surface. We have more issues with our children, right? Because our parenting is different when they are playing with their kids at school and what they expect in the stories they hear from their friends are totally different from the stories. I mean, Elder McKay said, you talk about how much you love Chihuahua, and the kids go back and they say, they won't talk about Chihuahua there because, yeah, they'll make up stories. Something else. Anyway, how much time do you have?
Oh, you still have time though.
Huh? I still have time. Very generous. You know somebody who likes to hold mics. She's from Texas. This is the influence of the Cowboys. Where there is no rule, one man rules. The Cowboys people. So we go big like Texas. So one of the areas that immigrants like us must do very well, exceptionally well, is we must embrace social engagement. Research shows that social connectedness can lead to longer life, better health, and improved well-being overall. In fact, there are financial benefits. People that are social do better financially. So those of you that like to be alone, this is why you have so many problems. Scripture encourages us to stick together because we are birds of the same feather, not just because of our spiritual lives and adventures, but we have so much in common. Right? We have so much in common. My wife, don't look at me when I speak. It's so beautiful. I'm getting interrupted. You know, this young lady changed my life because I was social. You know, you can marry if you like to stick. Okay. You know, let part of your wealth be defined by the friends you have. Wealth is not just money or things. Let part of your wealth be the friends you have. Let be part of the definition. Make it deliberate. Friends, social compass. You know, we left home, right? We left so many friends. We used to be so social there. But now here, we work more than anything, right? So we lost a lot, whether we realize it or not. And that's not good. So we must compensate. We must compensate. So the social aspect is deep. It can be broad. So I'm just scratching over the surface. Take seriously. And of course, the older you get, the more you will become and the few friends you have. Lately, my wife has been telling me, not that I'm getting older, by the way, but I'm lacking social filters. I kind of call it what it is a lot of times. And so I might offend people like that. But when it comes to friendship, invest time. Don't only with friends. Even if they're not perfect, invest time. Be deliberate. Don't always go empty-handed to a friend. Take something. Show them you love them. It's good for you, it's good for them. Those friendships are heaven given. They are gifts from heaven. No friendship is an accident. Believe it or me, it's part of your health. God planned that you and me will have friends. So make a decision and effort to value them like never before. Don't forget their anniversary like I do. Often. Birthdays. Do something for them. Be deliberate. Show that they are valued. It feels good. How will it feel if friends invite you and wow, the table is arranged so beautiful. Like it's a special date, right? Make it special. Value friendship. The social engagement aspect of it, believe it or not, this particular environment is a gift that also brings the social aspects of what we do as Christians together. So I'm thankful to Azana for doing this. That's why don't worry about numbers. We often want to see big crowds of people. Don't worry about numbers. Forget. Those days are over. We start small. It's this group of people that comes back year after year strengthening each other. And from these, I'm glad to be here actually, to be honest. And I'm thankful. Because now I've met you in person. Yeah. And you actually look nice. Look at the hands, you know. You look like him. Presentable. You come dignity. You know? He must be terribly long.
She's a baby.
All right. We can talk about physical exercise as another area from the social aspect. It's very important for proper functioning of your physical, mental, social, and spiritual, and even sexual life. Okay? So don't. They're children. But it's important to exercise if you want to enjoy life. Exercise. Life can be enjoyed in so many other ways. I admire those guys that go to the gym more often and big muscles. I'm not talking about that level of exercise. You know, some of them, if you're here, I'm sorry. Some of them, they do too much and they have back problems. Most people that are heavy lifters have serious back problems. And then they don't, when it's night time, they fear their own bedrooms. So too much gym may not be very good, but move. The physical is helpful. Move around, shake your body, right? Again, I'm going to go through the number 3 is healthy eating. We talked about the social, the physical, healthy eating. This is not where I want to spend time because the Seventh-day Adventists, we've been studying. Read some biology books. now they call Seventh-day Adventists as folks that have healthy eating habits. Am I right? In fact, when the federal government revised my pyramid to my plate, that input was out of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. You can read. It is what informed that. But the problem is because the presidency at the time was not liked by the other side of the aisle. But eat well, feel good, look good, and operate effectively and efficiently. But sometimes when I got into the church, there was this man from Monze that drank. He was a vegetarian, but he drank every Sabbath 2.5 liters of Chihuahua alone. Don't do that. Yeah, don't do that. That's not normal. That's actually crazy. But take yourself seriously, eat right, eat well. And I'm not talking about being vegetarian. If you eat meat, that's fine, but don't eat meat too much. Eat in moderation, okay? Let your diet mostly be vegetarian if you can. And I'm not talking about eating salads. Salads are boring, those leafy stuff. You know, that's not even the diet for those that study Ellen White's books, right? That's not the... Most Adventists are actually now swept into a misunderstanding our diet. They think, oh, I'll be a vegetarian and then eat salad. Salad is just a cherry on the top. It's a great diet that will give you good food. Like black beans and brown rice. Just two combination of those things will give you what? If the people that are studying nutrition here, all the 16 essential amino acids. It's amazing. Spiritual care, number 5. Spiritual care, it's important to pray and to study the Word of God and not just to attend church, but I think taking it personally will give you something that no one can explain to you. That's centeredness in your life. Because you have a personal relationship with God. And so, but that's just one aspect of our well-being, our health. Of course, the spiritual aspect of things can support this pillar. It's a big one. And I'm not speaking on these things in terms of order of importance. But Sabbath keepers, for example, because of the spiritual lifestyle and their other things, are generally healthier and happier, and we live longer. It's amazing actually to see that Adventists, well, let me say not all of them, but normal Adventists are also more social. Did you know that? We don't just rest. This is wonderful. This is fun. You know, one thing I say is that if I ever backslid, Pastor good. If I ever don't, please pray for me. I don't want to backslide. But if that ever happened, I would never stop keeping the Sabbath. Because I don't understand how you can work 7 days a week or just have no structure, right? Have no structure. I used to be wild and just almost no direction when I was in high school. The same year I became a Seventh-day Adventist, I had no idea because now I could think that I can't do this. So I started washing my clothes. I started planning. Literally, I told my wife this story. I studied, but I didn't make it anyway. Me and my young brother, who follows behind me, Emmanuel, when we became Adventists, in a school of over 1,000 students, we rose straight to the top of the class. Literally. And I didn't understand, I didn't plan it, I didn't work harder to be there. It happened and I started asking myself why. And I saw that the top, in every street, from grade 8, 9, 10 to 12, I was at the boarding school, the top 5 were always Adventists, consistently year after year. And so I cherish being a student Adventist. We don't just rest, we are more social because we spend more time together. Our counterparts go in and out very quickly. It's easier to avoid those you don't like. That's the only advantage they have. Because you can go in and out very quickly. Us, it's not easy to avoid people you don't like at church because we were there for too long. Then we rest, we eat well, we socialize more, and guess what? Most adventures also are outside, especially on Sabbath in the afternoon. They do walks, nature, and so forth, and then a few people drink too much wine. I had a powerful presentation not too long ago about financial health. Financial people here, you must continue pleading with us and guiding us. This is an area where we have to actually change attitudes and our behavior. Like I said to Dr. Imasikui, I said, he can be physically 100% fit, he can be a prayer warrior, you can be anything you want, but if you're too broke and you can't pay your bills, you are actually a sick man. Very sick. So we need financial, and the elite in the financial, I see my brother there, the elite in this area to guide us. And I know we're going to point fingers at you. We're going to tell you things, but don't mind that nonsense, okay? You must forge ahead and help us because we have problems in our immigrant groups. And because if you were here at the beginning, we said, well, we're in a unique predicament from the health aspect, even to the financial and the social aspect. Socially, we lost so much being left home. And we don't fit in very well. But we can fit well with each other. That's why I don't understand why we don't congregate like Jews. It will do us better. Not Jewish people when the house is open. My wife knows this. We work together. When the house is open next door, they are calling their network to buy that house next door. Why? Because they like to live in the same locality.
So I don't know like too much.
You should know this, right?
If
You said wow.
it's okay, or too much nowadays.
All right. So, I you have a lot of time, right? Oh my gosh, now she's changed. She's not nice anymore. So the social problems of immigrants, they include one poverty, of course, assimilation, this culture, education can be challenging, housing, employment, even social functionality. And by the way, believe it or not, where you live matters to get a loan. It does. These things, there's evidence. Any financial bankers here, they know that. If you live in a certain zip code, they'll scrutinize your paperwork more. That's why Sister Magasa lives in a very beautiful house. Don't get another loan, my sister. There's evidence that immigrants' access to financial services is poor, particularly in mainstream institutions. And again, I'm not an expert in this area. For some of the immigrants, language is an issue, but some of them are blatant discrimination and all of that. We talked about recreation, which we don't do enough as well. So these are the certain things. Recreation is also important. Take it seriously and don't wait for annual vacation for your well-being. Don't plan once a year. But how are you going to do it if your job holds you down, right? My proposal is to do frequent small vacations throughout the year. You know, you're going to go crazy the way you work. You know, take a break, visit a friend, take a break, go somewhere, and come back. But don't do it once a year. Do small, frequent vacations. Come at the backyard. Take a day off and camp at the backyard of the house with your children. Call your friends. Make it simple. Go to Disney World or whatever, right? But because recreation is what God wants to do as well. It's also stress management. It harmonizes you. So, again, hike, walk, move around. And in the end, you discover that your health will come together. So we talked about, and as I conclude, number one, social engagement, because we're in a predicament as a people, our social life has to be deliberate. We have to be thoughtful, and we just can't live like, oh, it's okay. It's not. It's important. We all need friends in the strong social culture. We have to identify. And this is important, what we're doing here. It's not just spiritual, but it's social. And we're learning a lot from each other. And then we talk about the physical exercise. It's not just about, going to break your back in the gym. It's just to be moved, okay, move around. We talk about healthy eating, and we talk about, I actually missed one, live a vision in life. If you don't know, I'll try to be quick. So I missed one point. Have a vision, and you can switch to the next lesson. Have a vision, even if it doesn't make a lot of sense to others, and even to yourself. Something. Talk to yourself, what do I really want? It could be multiple visions. I want to achieve this socially, physically. Have it written down. I tell you, that's the top 1% that are successful. If you don't write those things down, it's very unlikely you're going to forget. And you're going to be distracted. You're going to be distracted by your iPhone in your hands, and you will fail. Then we talked about spiritual care, we talked about financial health, and then in conclusion, the argument this morning in this short wellness talk, just scratching over the top, is that as a peculiar people, as a holy nation, we are still in a predicament because we're not at home. We're in a foreign land where the life's gymnastics are totally different. We've lost so much levels of connection with a different culture, and we must unite like never before. Now, I'm not saying we should all be happy and somebody should give a proposal like this, big tax like Elder Kalamba, that he has big ideas, always, headaches, this one. But, if it's 2 or 3 families, if you can agree to work together more closely, do it. Press closer. It's not that we're not going to explode into this big movement within us. It's the couple families getting along. In fact, I must conclude by saying, even our attendance will improve. Some of the people that could have been here are not here because they couldn't afford. And guess what? You have the money permission to go make some money this year and help the family. Amen? Why not? Help a friend. Is it bad to buy a ticket for a friend? Because they have their own issues? But truthfully speaking, some people that would have been here, they wanted to be so bad, but they couldn't just make it. Why can't you help to some extent? Encourage them, and so forth. So, as immigrants, we needed to clear our heads and cast all these illusions and stick together like never before. And yes, there will be some friction in some areas, some failures, but together we will be stronger. Because God calls us into unity and into working together. And into boldness, and into being heads and not tails, and to have the courage, and to be a unity. And then this life will make sense. Otherwise, we keep singing this world is not our home. Heavenly Father, thank you for just having this interaction. We ask you to take away what was not meaningful and just translate every word spoken with every imagination heart, that Lord will at the end live to glorify your name in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen.